This week on Shining Girls, Kirby is down but not out thanks to the power of friendship. Kirby is now ready to battle the evil time-traveling killer, so stay tuned for the exciting conclusion. Hey everyone, it's Brent the Middleman, your middle-aged middle manager in Middle America, here today with another video about Apple TV's mind-bending sci-fi horror series Shining Girls. I'll be talking about everything that has happened through episode 7, so here is your spoiler alert. Now check over your shoulder for a killer because you're about to experience the best moment of your life. Here we go. The episode begins by showing us Kirby's attack. She is peak Kirby, rocking the lavender sport jacket over a trendy t-shirt. She is shining because she got her first solo byline at the paper, which I guess is a good thing. But Harper is on a mission to snuff out shining girls, just as their lives are about to change for the better. We see that Kirby is telling her story to Dan and Ginny, trying to figure out when Harper may come after her. Ginny says, "Is he gonna kill me?" To which Harper responds, "He has, it just hasn't happened yet." First of all, that's terrifying, and if someone was telling this to me, I would be hopping on a flight to Australia or something. Second of all, this is the first in a number of times Kirby says something like this in the episode. They are really trying to make it clear that we are not on a linear timeline here. Kirby was able to break the time loop, and now it's all fractured and out of order, just like we saw earlier in the season when Kirby kept losing track of what was going on. Later, we will see that in this new timeline, Dan gets stabbed and not Ginny, which really mixes things up. But more on that in a bit. Ginny also reminds us that Harper and Kirby are connected. Things change in Kirby's world whenever Harper feels something towards a victim. Dan and Kirby try to track down Teenies because it's mentioned in the old video Harper shot of Clara in the house. Until this episode, I thought Teenies was like a Hooters for girls with small boobs, but it turns out to be a meatpacking plant, which is also kind of like a Hooters. We get a cool scene in Ginny's office, which mirrors what we saw in an earlier episode, but she makes different decisions, showing us once again that the previous time loop has been changed, and there is such a thing as free will. Take that, Sam Harris. Just like before, Harper is waiting for her in the planetarium, but this time his face is all slashed up and she isn't there. Kirby comes clean to Marcus about her memory issues and time jumping, and he doesn't really take it well, which is totally understandable. She tells him that she didn't marry him, that it was another her living a part of her life she hasn't gotten to yet. Yeah, I get why you think she's nuts. Marcus also makes a comment about Dan not remembering doing a story about teenies, and we learn later that he just blacks out all the tough stories he does. I can't tell if he has some powers like Kirby's, or if it was just all the drugs and booze. It's ironic though, because I call getting blackout drunk time travel. Dan and Kirby visit Teeny's meatpacking plant, which sounds like the title of a bad porno. They learn that Clara's body was dumped in the basement back in 1920, and her body was literally glowing because it was covered in radium. After learning her body was left in the bin with all the pig blood and feces, it finally dawned on Kirby that Harper hates women. I guess the fact that he has murdered like 20 of them in brutal fashion wasn't enough to draw that conclusion. Kirby and Dan have a hard time reconciling the fact that they saw Clara on a videotape, yet she was killed in 1920. We also learn later that she had a receipt from the concert hall on her from 1981. I suppose in real life, I would never really consider time travel as an option for what might be going on, but don't these people realize they're in a sci-fi show? I mean, come on. Harper then scares the crap out of Ginny by playing the soundtrack of her murder over the planetarium loudspeakers. How did Harper record this? Did he have a mini recorder, or does he set up that video camera? Or is it like Spaceballs and he has a pre-copy of Shining Girls he can go to? Ginny is definitely frightened, yet it still isn't enough to make her go hide or leave town, because she is career focused and even her own death won't stop her. You go, girl. Back at Teeny's, the empty subfloor is now filled with pig bodies, telling Kirby that Harper must have changed something in the Matrix. Felt something and made a move. She calls to check on Ginny from the office, where they also find the union cards for Clara and for Harper. Even more evidence that they are from the past and there is time travel going on here. Yeah, nobody is ever going to believe this. Harper, who still doesn't upgrade his wardrobe to fit with what time period he is in, follows Dan and Kirby and hears that they found Clara and plan on telling the story of the time-traveling killer. if anyone will believe them. Dan also tells Kirby that he forgets about everything after an intense story, and she worries he won't remember her. I can't tell if they are shipping these two or not, but if they are, they definitely have a chemistry issue. I'm just not feeling it. Kirby finds out that Marcus ratted her out to her boss and she gets fired. This leads Kirby to telling Marcus, "Peace out, I'm leaving the marriage I don't even remember having." You know, he really should have seen this one coming. When Kirby is getting her stuff from Marcus's place, she finds the wooden Pegasus Harper gave her when she was a kid. Her mom is there helping and reminds Kirby that the night she was attacked was right after she found out her career was taking off. This makes Kirby realize that Harper is attacking these women right before they really start to shine, and remembers that Ginny is about to give the biggest presentation of her career. A perfect time for Harper Woman Hater to attack. Dan and his son find the receipt that Clara had on her and go to check out the nightclub where Harper and Clara first met Kirby and where Clara used to dance. At Ginny's big night, which for the life of me I cannot figure out why she is going through with it, she is told that the live feed from the telescope is down, leading her right to the place where we saw her get murdered. When she opens the roof, she recognizes the clinking sound from her murder soundtrack, but Harper isn't there. Little do they know, Harper decided to exercise a little free will too, take that Sam Harris, and go to the club to murder Danny Boy right in front of Clara's old poster. But as Dan slides to the ground, he grabs something out of Harper's pocket. This could be a clue that he is going to survive this, or his son will find it and give whatever it is to Kirby. Let me know what you think he grabbed in the comments, and if you think Dan will survive. To me, it looked like a wallet or maybe a notebook where he keeps track of his victims. After this attack, which was not part of the original time loop, we see that Ginny now has Kirby's powers, or affliction, and her whole timeline has changed. In this timeline, she isn't associated with the planetarium at all, her old colleague is presenting, and she dresses like Avril Lavigne. She goes outside and finds Kirby, who has yet another new look, and asks, "What's happened to us?" In a super cold-blooded move, Harper stops by Dan's car and talks to his son Freddie while wearing his stabbed dad's jacket and leaving a bloody handprint on the window. Damn, that's colder than, and say it with me now, my ex-wife. Wow, episode 7 is in the books, leaving us with just the season finale next week. Well, I think it will be the season finale, but it could be the series finale, I'm not sure. I really enjoyed this episode, even though there's a few things that rub me the wrong way. I like Elizabeth Moss, but I feel like she's miscast in this role. I'm not really feeling the chemistry with Dan, which I think is supposed to be there, and the changes in her look just aren't as dramatic as I think they're supposed to be. But overall, I'm loving the show so far, and I'm curious if they'll have Kirby take out Harper next week, or if they'll try to keep this going to another season. Obviously, Dan getting stabbed and Jin Suk now seeing the changes like Kirby does are big twists, making me wonder what else has changed in this world. Next week, I hope we learn more about the house, but maybe that's how they'll extend this series, keeping the house mystery alive. The house can always bring in someone new, and boom, season 2. I'm sure we'll see Freddie find his dad inside, and we'll see what he was able to grab out of Harper's pocket. I think it will be something that leads them to the house, and possibly evidence linking him to all the girls. I hope it at least tells us why he is out killing these girls, because I think it's more than just Harper being a woman hater. It would be great though if it was just a note that said, time travel in house, kill woman in 1962, eat dinner, go back to time traveling house. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like, as it really helps out this middle-aged middle manager. I'll be back soon with more videos on Shining Girls and other fun mystery shows I'm watching. If you have a show you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comments. That's how I found this one. Once again, I'm Brent the Middleman, and I'll see you next time.